Alrighty. Should be live here. Let's just make sure. Alright. Do, do, do. Okay, we are live. Good. Perfect. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to my live stream. I am here, pretty standard stream for me, opening up Tarkir Dragonstorm. We got a bundle here. We've got a play booster box as well, and we've got a collector pack to open up. This set, so far, I've done the pre-release and the first draft, obviously, and this is a fun set to play. Obviously, it's focused a lot more on three-color pairings than it is on two-color because the clans on Tarkir. Excuse me. My favorite is Mardu so far, the red, white, and black faction. They're all about turning your board sideways, dealing a lot of damage, and going wide and fast. Uh, sorry. So yeah, hoping to get some really good polls today. I'm looking obviously for Mox Jasper. Uh, get free mana rock for dragons. Looking for Ugin and Elspeth, the planeswalkers. The mythic dragons. Especially looking for the turtle. A couple copies of the turtle so I can put one into the Jen's turtle deck. And yeah, so many good hits to possibly hit here. So let's just go ahead. We're going to open up the bundle first. Box for my pets. Got a neat little artwork here for one of the cards. And then on the back here, it's got, commander, precons, one for each of the clans, collector boosters, play boosters, just telling you what's available for the set. This very pretty looking box with all five of the mythic dragons labeled on there. See the planeswalker symbols, got a dragon face. That's really cool. Dragonstorm. All right. We got, as usual, we've got the oversized spin down D20, which is a very pretty, almost looks like ice kind of coloration. I think it looks really cool there. Set symbol right there for the 20. There, we've got tokens, encounters, items to use up. We've got our packs right here, along with our typical set of basic lands. And in this one, we've got our bundle promo, which is the Teamer Battlecrier, 4/3 Orc Ranger. During your turn spells, you cast cost one less for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. So Teamer is all about making really big creatures as fast as possible. And then we've got the full art basic lands for this set are, dragon shadows over the landscape, which I think are really cool. I am a little upset though that I'm massively upset that the dragon's eye basic lands that they showed off, where it's a close up of a dragon's eye and the set symbol is the iris of the eye. Those are only available in collector boosters. Right now they aren't that expensive. I think they're going for like $3 to $5 right now on TCG Player, but still, that's way too much. basic land. So I'm just gonna have to hope I get some really cool basic lands in the collector pack that I open up. Also, I'm upset that there's a promo for a waste with a dragon's eye, but that was only available at LGSs if your LGS hosted an event previously. But since nobody showed up to that event at my LGS, they don't have the waste dragon's eye land available. So that if I'm I'm gonna have to get it off of the internet. All right. Well, with that little preamble ramble out of the way, let's open up these play boosters from the bundle box. All right. We're starting off with Caustic Exhale. As an additional cost to pay this spell, as additional cost to cast this spell, behold a dragon or pay 1. Target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. That's a nice little 1 mana instant speed, potentially kill a lot of creatures. I do enjoy the Behold mechanic. To behold a dragon, choose a dragon you control, or reveal a dragon card in your hand. Makes sense for a set that has a bunch of dragons. Funnily enough, uh, the mechanic of Behold is technically new, introduced in this set. But there was a card from the Adventures in the Forgotten Realms set that had the exact same wording of as an additional cost, you may choose a dragon you control or reveal a dragon in your hand, but they didn't call it Behold. I think that's pretty fun that they turned that into a proper mechanic. Crotique Nest Guard, 4/4 insect with Defender that you can pay 3 to have it be able to attack as though it didn't have Defender. Teamer Devotee, a 3/3 with Defender that you can pay mana to filter. Each of the clans has their own devotee. You can see the Jeskai devotee is right there. Arishin's Sunshield, 3/4. When this creature enters, exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard, and you can pay white and to tap it to tap a creature. Molten Exhale. You may cast the spell as though it had flash if you behold a dragon as an additional cost to cast it. Deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Worthy Cost, that's the art from the little poster in the bundle. 1 mana as an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature, exile target creature or planeswalker. Wingspan Stride, an enchantment aura. Enchant creature gets +1/+1 and has flying, and you pay 3 to return the aura to its owner's hand. So you can reassign flying at your choice. That's pretty cool. Reigning Victor. This can either cost anywhere from 1 red, 1 white, and 1 black to 6 generic. 3/3 with Mobilize 1. The Mobilize mechanic is the one for Mardu. When it attacks, it makes a tap an attacking 1/1 red warrior, and then you sacrifice the warrior token at the end step. When this creature enters, target creature gets +1/+0 and gains indestructible until end of turn. That's pretty good. Nomad Outpost, a tapped land that taps for one of Mardu's colors. Synchronized Charge, 2 mana sorcery. Distribute 2 +1/+1 counters among 1 or 2 target creatures you control. Creatures you control with counters on them gain vigilance and trample till end of turn. And then Harmonize is the teamer specific mechanic here. So 4 and a green. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its harmonized cost. You may tap a creature you control to reduce that cost by X, where X is its power, then exile this spell. So it's flashback, but with a different way to cast it. War Effort, 4 mana enchantment. Creatures you control get +1/+0. Whenever you attack, create a 1/1 red warrior creature token that's tapped and attacking, and sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. So that's for Mardu. Uh, Anafenza, Unyielding Lineage. 2/2 flash first strike. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, Anafenza endures 2. Endure is the Abzan specific mechanic. So enduring means you either enduring 2 would be this gets 2 +1/+1 counters, or you make a 2/2 white spirit. Pretty cool. We got a foil Shock Brigade, 1/3 with menace and mobilize 1. Thornwood Falls, enters tapped, gain 1 life. It's Simic. And we got a Monk token, 1/1 with Prowess, and a Bird, 1/1 with Flying. I'm a little upset that they didn't reprint Monastery Mentor into Tarkir Dragonstorm. I know it just got reprinted recently in March of the Machine, but March of the Machine is about to rotate out of standard, and so I was hoping that it would stick around. There is still a chance that it could come back into standard with the Avatar: The Last Airbender set that's going to come out, because there's an opportunity to make one of the Airbenders a Monastery Mentor. I think that would be cool. All right, Pack 2, Undergrowth Leopard. 2/2 Vigilance. Pay 1, sacrifice this creature to destroy an artifact or enchantment. Dirger Island Dragon. Now this is a dragon that has the new Omen. Omens are similar to uh, the Adventures from like Baldur's Gate and the Eldraine sets. So as the creature, it is a 4/4 flying with Ward 2, and then the Omen is an instant, 1 and a blue, tap up to one target creature and draw a card, and then it's similar to Adventure, but the difference is that Adventure, the card gets exiled and then you can cast the creature later. With Omen, once you cast the Omen spell, you shuffle the card back into the library, which means you can play it the Omen side again if you need to, or then you can play the dragon, which I think makes Omen much better than Adventure. Although the downside is then you're gonna have to draw into it again. And here's another one. Riling Dawnbreaker. As a creature, it's a 3/4 with flying and vigilance. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. And then the Omen is a sorcery that you make a 2/2 white soldier. Rescue Leopard. 4/2 cat. When this creature becomes tapped, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Delta Bloodflies. 1/2 insect with flying. Whenever this creature attacks, if you control a creature with a counter on it, each opponent loses 1 life. Watcher of the Wayside, 3/2 Golem. When this creature enters, target player mills 2 cards and you gain 2 life. Now the Wingspan Stride. Bewildering Blizzard, 6 mana instant. Draw 3 cards. Creatures your opponents control get -3/-0 until end of turn. That's a pretty hefty cost, but I think it's worth it to potentially save yourself from an all-out attack. Wayspeaker Bodyguard. 3/4 Orc Monk. When this creature enters, return target non-land permanent card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. And then it has Flurry, which is the Jeskai specific mechanic. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, tap target creature and opponent controls. So Jeskai is all about casting multiple spells and getting an effect when you cast your second spell each turn. Skirmish Rhino, 3/4 trample. When this creature enters, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. We got a Jeskai Saga here. Rediscover the Way. Chapters 1 and 2, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. And then chapter 3, whenever you cast a non-creature spell this turn, target creature you control gains double strike until end of turn. That's pretty good. Oh my god, Pack 2? Seriously? Well, that's one of the cards that I wanted. So that is Elspeth Stormslayer. That's really cool that you look carefully. You can kind of see that the lightning on her artwork is crossing over into her text. That's really cool. So this is a 5 mana planeswalker with a static ability. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. So we got a doubling effect on a planeswalker. And then +1, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. 0. This one I think should have been at a cost, not just 0. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain flying until end of turn. Yeah, if the doubling effect alone wasn't enough to make Elspeth broken, I think that makes this broken. And then -3, destroy target creature and opponent controls with mana value 3 or greater. So off to an amazing start. All right, foil card is Unburied Earthcarver. 2/2 Human Warrior. Pay 2, sacrifice another creature, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Blossoming Sands, the Selesnya Gainland, and then we got a 4/4 Dragon and a 1/1 Warrior. Yeah, uh, only can go up from here, I think. Elspeth Pack 2. Freaking 15 minutes into the stream, and we've already got one of the 2 Planeswalkers. Alrighty. Einok Wayfarer. I think it's Einok. Einok Wayfarer. 1/1 Dog Scout. When this creature enters, mill 3 cards. You may put a land card from among them into your hand. If you don't, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. We've had similar cards be printed recently, but I think some of them are going to be rotating out of standard, which is why they reprinted this. Riverwalk Technique. 4 mana instant, choose one. The owner of target non-land permanent puts it on their choice of the top or bottom of their library, or counter target non-creature spell. Coordinated Maneuver. 2 mana instant, choose one. Deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature or planeswalker, or destroy target enchantment. Wild Ride, a 1 mana sorcery. Target creature gets +3/+0 and gains haste until end of turn, and it's got Harmonize for 5. Adorned Crocodile. New Crocodile dropped. When this creature dies, create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token, and then it has Renew, which is the Sultai specific mechanic. 1 black mana, exile this card from your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, activate only as a sorcery. Now that doesn't seem necessarily good for this guy, but the thing with the Renew is that hi Hannah. Thanks for jumping in. You just missed it. I pulled Elspeth in my second pack. So I'm already off to a fantastic start with this stream. But yeah, as I was saying, there are other Sultai cards that have Renew that have keywords on them, and when you activate their Renew ability, the creature you're putting counters on also gets counters for those keywords. So, Adorned Crocodile just gives it +1/+1, but other Sultai creatures give really good abilities. All right, Heritage Reclamation, 2 mana instant, choose one, destroy an artifact, destroy an enchantment, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard, and draw a card. That is a really good card that I think a lot of people are going to be playing, especially in Standard. Aggressive Negotiations, 3 mana sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it and exile that card. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature you control. Kishla Skimmer, 2 mana Bird Scout, 2/2 flyer. Whenever a card leaves your graveyard during your turn, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. It's a pretty neat card, especially for Sultai. Veteran Ice Climber, 1/3 Vigilance. Creature can't be blocked. Whenever this creature attacks, up to 1 target player mills cards equal to this creature's power. So you want to buff this up and swing a lot with it. Armament Dragon, 3 and Abzan, 3/4 Dragon flying. When this creature enters, distribute 3 +1/+1 counters among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures you control. Shocking Sharpshooter, 2 mana, 1/3 with reach. Whenever another creature you control enters, this creature deals 1 damage to target opponent. That's been an all-star in my limited game so far with Tarkir. Avenger of the Fallen. Uh, Death Touch and Mobilize X, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard, and a 2/4. That's pretty good. Ooh, and we got a foil Frostcliff Siege. So it's 1 blue-red, and then as this enchantment enters, choose Jeskai or Temur. The Jeskai mode, whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Or Temur is creatures you control get +1/+0 and have trample and haste. That's nice. Oh, and that's not even the guarantee. Or is this one also just foil? Foil Jungle Hollow, Golgari Gainland. Yeah, that was just multiple foils. And then Monk and Copy Token. The sieges are pretty good. I'm not sure which one is the best, but Frostcliff Siege being able to give all your creatures trample and haste and a power boost, I think that might be the best. I'd have to look at the other ones just to make sure. All right, Segu Pummeler. Yeah, so this is a 4/4 with reach, and it also has Renew, and this one will give 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature and a reach counter. So yeah, Renew is definitely a good way to utilize your creatures in your graveyard. Unending Whisper, draw a card, and harmonize for 6. Osseous Exhale, as an extra cost to cast the spell, Behold a Dragon. You may behold a dragon, deals 5 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. If a dragon was beheld, you gain 2 life. That's just a good card regardless. 2 mana, 5 damage to an attacking or blocking creature. Another Shock Brigade, Feral Deathgorger. The creature is a 3/5 flying death touch. When it enters, exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. And the Omen is put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature and draw a card. Another Reigning Victor. Another Unburied Earthcarver. Loxodon Battle Priest. 3/5 Elephant Cleric. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on another target creature you control. Karakik Guardian. I hope I said that right. 3 Intemer. 6/5 Flying Trampolins Vigilant. Trampolins. Flying Vigilance Trample. This creature has hexproof if it hasn't dealt damage yet. That's a pretty good card. Alchemist Assistant, 2/1 lifelink. Oh, it's a new monkey, but it's not in Gruul, so I can't add it into Kibo, which is sad. 2/1 lifelink and renew to put a lifelink counter on target creature. Encroaching Dragonstorm, one of the 5 Dragonstorms of the set. When this enchantment enters, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle, and when that dragon you control enters, return this enchantment to its owner's hand. And we've got one of the rare land cycles, Dalkovan Encampment. Enters tapped unless you control a swamp or a mountain. Taps for white, or you can pay 2 and a white, tap it. Whenever you attack this turn, create 2/1/1 red warrior creature tokens that are tapped and attacking and sack them at the beginning of the end step. It's a very good card. I actually got the showcase one in my pre-release kit because I picked Mardu. Kishla Trawlers, 3/2 Human Citizen. When this creature enters, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. When you do, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Seems pretty good. Swamp, and then Treasure and Elephant. That's a really cool looking elephant token. I just love the artwork of that. That's really pretty. All right. Dispelling Exhale. You can behold a dragon, counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. If a dragon was beheld, they have to pay 4. Bearer of Glory. During your turn, this creature has first strike. Pay 5 mana. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Twin Bolt. Deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. Cruel Truths. Lots of instants in this pack. Surveil 2, then draw 2 cards. You lose 2 life. Segu Wildling. 3/3 flying. When this creature enters, you gain 3 life. In the Omen, 1 mana, search your library for a basic land, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle, and then shuffle this in. Then shuffle, also shuffle this card. Another Watcher of the Wayside, another Reigning Victor. Fleeting Effigy, 2/2 with haste, at the beginning of your end step, return this creature to its owner's hand. 3 mana, gets +2/+0 until end of turn. So it's just it's basically a free dasher. Marshal of the Lost. 3/3 with Death Touch. Whenever you attack, target creature gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of attacking creatures. That's really good there. River Wheel Sweep. Tap target creature, put 3 stun counters on it. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. Choose one of them. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. New Surok card. Surok Elusive Hunter. 4/3. This spell can't be countered. It has trample. Whenever a creature you control or a creature spell you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, draw a card. Ooh. We got a showcase Sultai Enchantment Saga. Awaken the Honored Dead. Chapter 1. Destroy target non-land permanent. Chapter 2. Mill 3 cards. Chapter 3. You may discard a card. When you do, return target creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand. That's really pretty. Foil Rescue Leopard. Foil Thornwood Falls. And a Warrior Dragon token. Pretty good hits so far from this bundle. I'm excited to see what the box has to offer. Alright, Delta Bloodflies, Einok Wayfarer, Riverwalk Technique, Coordinate Maneuver, Wild Ride, Reigning Victor. Yo! Special guest Arid Mesa! That is awesome. That artwork is so pretty. Look at that. That is some gorgeous artwork. All right. God, the special guests always throw me off because they put them in after in between the commons and the uncommon, so I'm never expecting it. Arid Mesa, let's go. All right, Gurmag Rakshasa. 5/5 demon with menace. When this creature enters, target creature and opponent controls gets -2/-2 until end of turn, and target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. It's a nice one. Zurgo's Vanguard. Star 3, mobilize 1. This creature's power is equal to the number of creatures you control. Oh, we have our first multicolored Omen card. So Whirlwind Stormbrood. 4/3, flash and flying. You may cast sorcery spells and dragon spells as though they had flash. And the Omen is 2 and a green for a sorcery. Put 3+1/+1 counters on target creature you control. Mardu Monument. When this artifact enters, search your library for a basic mountain, plains, or swamp card. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. You can pay 2 in Mardu, tap and sack it. Create 3 1/1 red warrior creature tokens. They gain menace and haste until end of turn. That's pretty powerful. All right, Songcrafter Mage, 3/2 with flash. When this creature enters, target instant and sorcery card in your graveyard gains Harmonize until end of turn. Its Harmonize cost is equal to its mana cost. That's pretty good, I'd have to say. We got a foil River Wheel Sweep, Scoured Barrens, Orzhov Gainland, and then a Warrior and Goblin token. That's a fun-looking goblin. I love how each time they make goblins in the different different planes, they always look different. I just love how each different planes goblins look. All right. Meticulous Artisan, 3/3 with prowess. When this creature enters, create a treasure token. Got a Feral Deathgorger, Piercing Exhale. You may behold a dragon. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. If a dragon was beheld, surveil 2. Snowmount Stag, 2/5 vigilance. During your turn, this creature has base power and toughness 5/2, and 7 mana to make it unblockable for the turn. It's a pretty fun, interesting card there. Stormplane Detainment. When it enters, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. Another Wingspan Stride. Aggressive Negotiations. Traveling Botanist. When this creature becomes tapped, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may reveal it and put it in your hand. If you don't put it in your hand, you may put it into your graveyard. That works very well with harmonized cards. Aegis Sculptor. 2/3 flying and ward 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may exile 2 cards from your graveyard. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Descendant of Storms. 2/1. Whenever this creature attacks, you may pay 1 and a white. If you do, it endures 1. Defibrillating Current. Defibrillating Current deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker, and you gain 4 life. Oh, we got a mythic here. Dragonback Assault. 3 and Teamer. When this enchantment enters, it deals 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying. That's pretty good right there. We got a foil Raining Strike Mastery. Enchant creature. When this aura enters, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Enchanted creature has pay 5 mana to untap this creature. Jungle Hollow, Elephant and Treasure. No art cards yet. I'm a little sad. I always liked looking at the art cards. All right, Teamer Devotee, Tempest Hawk, our newest any number of cards card. It is a 2/2 with flying. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may search your library for a card named Tempest Hawk, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. A deck may have any number of cards named Tempest Hawk. Even if I'm not going to be playing Tempest Hawk, anytime I see it in a draft, I'm going to pull it. Because, one, I might actually be able to play it in the draft, and two, I just want to be able to have a bunch in case I ever decide to build a Tempest Hawk deck, then I don't have to buy a bunch. Underfoot Underdogs. 1/2 Goblin Warrior. When it enters, create a 1/1 Goblin. Pay 1 and tap. Target creature you control with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. Caustic Exhaust. Crotique Nest Guard. Hellspire Bellrainer. 1/4 flying. The second spell you cast each turn costs 1 less to cast. Wingspan Stride. Sonic Shrieker. 2 and Mardu for a 4/4 flying dragon. When this creature enters, it deals 2 damage to any target and you gain 2 life. If a player is dealt damage this way, they discard a card. Shocking Sharpshooter, Kishless Skimmer. The Sib Sig Ceremony. 3 black mana for a legendary enchantment. Creature spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Whenever a creature you control enters, if you cast it, destroy that creature, then create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. Now, there is apparently a very powerful combo that you can do with this. I'm not the one typically to make a powerful combo decks, especially in like standard, but for those who enjoy it, good on you. Ooh, double rare. Scavenger Regent. 4/4 flying ward, draw a card, and the Exude Toxin. Each non-dragon, it's X and 2 black to cast. Each non-dragon creature gets -X until end of turn. I might add. I don't really want to add too many non-D&D dragons into my Tiamat deck, but I might add that in just as a nice little board wipe. Lightfoot Technique, foil, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It gains flying and indestructible until end of turn. Swiftwater Cliffs, Izzet Gainland, 1/1 soldier, and 2/2 soldier. Alright, this is the last pack of the bundle, and then we're going to be moving on to the Play Booster box. Alright, so we got an Adorned Crocodile, Sultai Devotee, 2/1 with Death Touch, and it can filter for Sultai mana. Ice Ridge Serpent, 3/3. When this creature enters, return target creature and opponent controls to its owner's hand. Salt Road Pack Beast, 4/3, 6 mana, but it costs 1 less for each creature you control. And when this creature enters, draw a card. Narset's Rebuke, 5 mana, deals 5 damage to target creature, add Jeskai. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Kin Tree Nurturer, 2/1 lifelink. When this creature enters, it endures 1. Sibsig Appraiser, 2/1 Zombie Advisor. When this creature enters, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the other in your graveyard. Formation Breaker, 2/1. Creatures with power less than this creature's power can't block it. As long as you control a creature with a counter on it, this creature gets +1/+2. 100 Battle Veteran. As long as there are 3 or more different kinds of counters among creatures you control, this creature gets +2/+4, so it goes from a 4/2 to a 6/6. You may cast this card from your graveyard. If you do, it enters with a finality counter on it. Ooh. Duty Beyond Death. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn and put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. We got a Showcase for the Segu Wildling. It's pretty nice. And we've got a non-foil Frostcliff Siege. And a foil Showcase Feral Deathgorger. That artwork is just gorgeous. Foil Jungle Hollow, and a 1/1 Spirit and 2/2 Spirit. All right, so that was a pretty banger bundle there. Obviously, the highlights for me, the foil Frostcliff Siege, the Elspeth, and the Showcase special guest Arid Mesa. But now we are moving on to our Play Booster box. Just open this up real quick. All right. The seal has been broken. All right. Let us pop this bad boy open. No box toppers for this set. We got a cool little collectible QR code to learn about the collectible treatments for this set, and here are all the draft guide archetypes if you do draft. This image is also available on the internet if you want to take a look at it. I usually do before I draft, just so I can remember what each combo is supposed to be doing. All right, let's crack into this box. 30 packs, I think they're at now. 30. All right. Sultai Devotee, Ice Ridge Serpent, Salt Road Pack Beast, Narset's Rebuke, Kintry Nurturer, Jade Cast Sentinel, 1/5 Ape Snake. Has reach and pay 2, tap it, put a target card from a graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. That could be that could be another included into my River Song deck, which wants to put things on the bottom because then I just draw them again. Temur Tawnyback. When this creature enters, draw a card, then discard a card. Kishla Trawlers, Nomad Outpost, Synchronized Charge, we saw that one. War Effort, Kotis the Fang Keeper, 1 and Sultai, 2/1 Indestructible. Whenever Kotis deals combat damage to a player, exile the top X cards of their library where X is the amount of damage dealt. You may cast any number of spells with mana value X or less from them without paying their mana cost. So you obviously want to get Kotis to be really big, swing it, hit for a bunch of damage, and then cast a bunch of spells for free. Foil Meticulous Artisan. We've got a foil full art forest. And then there's a zombie druid token and treasure. All right, Jeskai Devotee. Flurry, when you cast your second spell each turn, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and then can filter for one of the Jeskai manas. Hey, Gwen. How's it going? Alessia's Legacy. Target creature you control gets Death Touch and indestructible until end of turn. That's always a good effect to have, and I'm glad that they're reprinting it so it doesn't leave standard. Champion of Dustin. Trample. You can renew exile from your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter, and a trample counter on target creature. Agent of Kotis. Also renew, puts 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature. Dragonback Lancer, 3/3 flying with Mobilize 1. Another Watcher of the Wayside. Heritage Reclamation. Sultai Monument. When it enters, you search for a basic swamp, forest, or island to your hand. 2 in Sultai, sacrifice this artifact, make 2/2 black zombie druid creature tokens. So each of the monuments fetches you a basic land, and then you sacrifice them to make tokens. Attuned Hunter, 3/3 with Trample. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard during your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Wingblade Disciple, 2/2 flyer. Flurry, when you cast your second spell each turn, you make a bird. Quarry Mountain Stalwart. Flurry, when you cast your second spell each turn, this creature deals 2 damage to each opponent. You gain 2 life, and it's a 3/3. And then we've got the regular artwork for the Temur Battle Crier. This was the bundle promo. Foil Riverwalk Technique, Windscarred Crag, Boros, Gainland, and we've got an art card finally. This is for Irene of the Unwritten. I believe this is from the Commander deck that this card is featured in. It was very pretty. All right, next pack. All right, Coordinated Maneuver, Narset's Rebuke, Delta Bloodflies, Sultai Devotee, Ice Ridge Serpent, Watcher of the Wayside, Wingspan Stride, Riverwheel Step, Traveling Botanist, Aegis Sculptor, Bloom Vine Regent. Oh, there's the dragon. It's almost blended in the trees. 4/5 Flying Dragon. Whenever this creature or another dragon you control enters, you gain 3 life. And then the Omen. Search your library for up to 2 basic forest cards, reveal them, put one into the battlefield tapped and the other in the hand, then shuffle. So it's a Kodama's Reach specifically for forests, for basic forests. Ooh, we got Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon. Tap for colorless, tap to spend a mana of any color, only for dragon spells or omen spells. And then 4 mana, tap, sacrifice this land, search your library for a dragon, put in your hand. That's a very powerful card for this set. Foil Sibsig Appraiser, Blossoming Sands, and another art card. I thought this was signed for a second. This is Narset Jeskai Waymaster, the showcase version of it. It's very pretty. Expect to hear that from me a lot this stream. Is just, ooh, this card is very pretty. Alrighty. Feral Deathgorger, Piercing Exhale, Snowmelt Stag, Stormplane Detainment, Seize Opportunity. Choose one, exile the top two cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. Up to 2 target creatures each get +2/+1 until end of turn. Oh, did I not say Gwen? I thought I said Gwen. Did I say something else? I'm sorry. Sandskitter, Outrider, Menace when this creature enters and endures 2. So for thanks. Temer Tawnyback, Lie in Wait. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Lie in Wait deals damage equal to that card's power to target creature. It's a really good card there. Storm Beacon Blade. Equipped creature gets +3/+0. Whenever equipped creature attacks, draw a card if you control 3 or more attacking creatures. Rain Veil Rejuvenator. When this creature enters, you may mill 3 cards. Tap green. Add an amount of green equal to this creature's power. Didn't hear you say hi. Oh, you're good. Yeah. How's my volume on my mic? Because when I listened back to the recording for the last stream that I did, it was kind of a little quiet, so I moved my mic a bit closer. Does it sound? Is the volume okay? It looks like it's fine looking at OBS. You're good. Excellent. Thank you. Venerated Storm Singer. 3/3 mobilize 1. Whenever this creature or another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Now this is a piece that so far I've been missing from my Mardu decks that I've been playing in limited, because the tokens that you make when you mobilize, you have to sacrifice them, which means they die. So this can gain a lot of life and drain a lot from your opponents. Ooh, we've got a showcase Kishla Village. This is for Sultai. This land enters tapped unless you control an island or a swamp. Add tap for green or pay 3 and a green and tap to Surveil 2, which is what Abzan wants. Sorry, Sultai. We got a foil Sibsig ceremony. We've got lots of those now. Foil Jungle Hollow and a Bird Monk. Okay. Focus the Mind. This spell costs 2 less to cast if you've cast another spell this turn. Draw 3 cards, then discard a card. Mardu Devotee. When this creature enters, scry 2, and then you can filter for Mardu. Ooh, the corner on this is a little bent. I'm not sure if you can kind of see it. Try and get the camera to focus a little bit, but the corner is just slightly bent on there. Wizards, I want a full refund. I'm just kidding. Meticulous Artisan, Abzan Devotee. This one lets you filter for an Abzan color, and you can pay 3 to return it from your graveyard to your hand. Piercing Exhale, Rebellious Strike. Target creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn, and then draw a card. Watcher of the Wayside. Rally the Monastery. This spell costs 2 less to cast if you cast into the spell. Choose 1. Create 2 1/1 Mike. Mike? Create a couple of mics. Just get a couple of mics. Make preferably the black cherry flavor. Sorry. Create 2 1/1 white monk creature tokens with prowess. Up to 2 target creatures you control each get +2/+2 until end of turn, or destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. That was one of the first cards that was shown for Tarkir Dragonstorm. If you ever read the story for it. Reverberating Summons. At the beginning of each combat, if you've cast 2 or more spells this turn, this enchantment becomes a 3/3 monk creature with haste in addition to its other types until the end of the turn. 1 and a red, discard your hand, sacrifice this enchantment, draw 2 cards. Jeskai Brushmaster, 2/4 with double strike and prowess. It's pretty good for Jeskai. Knockout Maneuver. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, then it deals damage equal to its power to target creature and opponent controls. Ooh, this is a rare. Dragon Fireblade. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has hexproof from monocolored. Equipped for 4, this ability costs 1 less to activate for each color of the creature it targets. That's interesting. How was my night of the D&D thing? It was amazing. It was our first time ever going to a live show for Critical Role, and it wasn't. It was for a one-shot thing, so we weren't exactly sure what to expect, but it was just absolutely glorious. We loved it. We really hope to go again when they do a live show that's local, that is a that is part of an actual campaign. Hopefully for campaign 4, whatever that ends up being. But yeah, it was just so much fun. Would absolutely love to do it again. And for other live play shows like Dimension 20, Legends of Evantris, if they do a live show near us, that would be really fun to go see. Let's see. Finishing off this pack, we got a foil piercing exhale, a tranquil cove. Ooh, I don't remember what makes this token, but okay, backside is dragon, but this is a reliquary dragon token. Token is all colors, flying lifelink. When it enters, deals 3 damage to any target. I forget what makes the reliquary dragon. I hope I pull it so I can remember what it does. What that do? Alrighty. Piercing Exhale, Snowmelt Stag, Stormplane Detainment, Seize Opportunity, Sandskitter Outrider, Embermouth Sentinel. When this creature enters, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, and shuffle and put it on that card on top. If you control a dragon, put that card on the battlefield tapped instead. Summit Intimidator, 4/3 with reach. When it enters, target creature can't block this turn. Hardened Tactician, 2/4, pay 1, sacrifice a token, draw a card. This is especially good in Mardu because, you know, the tokens are going to die anyways. You might as well get some value out of it. Breaching Dragonstorm. When this enchantment enters, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast it without paying its mana cost if that spell's mana value is 8 or less. If you don't, put that card into your hand. When a dragon enters, bounce to your hand. All the Dragonstorms bounce to your hand. I'm going to go see Lady Gaga next Friday here at Coachella. That is amazing. Let me make sure you tell us how that turns out. I imagine it's going to be amazing. We got another Lion Weight. Dalcoven Pack Beast, 0/4 with Vigilance and Mobilize 3. Yes! Mox Jasper! Let's go! Look at that. Absolutely amazing. 0 mana artifact, legendary artifact, tap to add 1 mana of any color, but only if you control a dragon. If I'm absolutely lucky to get another one, 1,000% going into my Tiamat deck. All access VIP passes for you got all act. Is that you got all access VIP passes for free to go see Lady Gaga? That is amazing. How did you manage that? Foil Trade Route Envoy. When it enters, draw a card if you control a creature with a counter on it. If you don't draw a card this way, put a counter on this creature. Foil Scour Barons, Warrior Dragon. Yeah, if you manage to get all access VIP passes for free to go see Lady Gaga, how did you pull that off? Did you win a contest or something? That is awesome. Okay. Neighbor. Oh, that is so lucky. Your neighbor works at the venue, so you got all access VIP passes for free. That is awesome. Alrighty. We got Cruel Truths, Segu Wildling, Highspire Bellrainer, another Tempest Hawk, Underfoot Underdogs, Caustic Exhale, Embermouth Sentinel, Sibsega Praiser, Channel Dragonfire, deals 2 damage to any target, Harmonize for 7. Eesh. Seems like a lot. Hosts of the Hereafter. Creature enters with 2/1/1 counters on it. Whenever this creature or another creature you control dies, if it had counters on it, put its counters on up to 1 target creature you control. Yeah, she loves it. Clearly, if she's willing to get you VIP access passes for free, that's awesome. Waste Speaker Bodyguard. Yathan Road Watcher. 3/3. When this creature enters, if you cast it, mill 4 cards. When you do, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Seems pretty cool. Oh, here's the card. And it's foil too. Dragon Brood's Relic. Artifact, tap an untapped creature you control, add 1 mana of any color. This Dungeon Master is love. Yes, she is. 3 and 1 of each color. Sacrifice this artifact. Create a 4/4 dragon creature token named Reliquary Dragon. That's all colors. It has flying, lifelink, and when this token enters, it deals 3 damage to any target, only at sorcery speed. 8 mana to make a 4/4 that deals 3 damage. I don't know how good this is, or it might just be something that's specific to limited. Bloodfell Caves, Warrior Dragon. All right. Crotique Nestguard, Highspire Bellrainer, Osseous Exhale, Molten Exhale, worthy cost. Monastery Messenger, 2/3 with flying and vigilance. When it enters, put up to 1 target non-creature, non-land card from your graveyard on top of your library. Lightfoot Technique, Armament Dragon. Oop, that's my 2:30 alarm. I will focus on that later. Equilibrium Adept. When this creature enters, exile the top card of your library until the end of your next turn. You can play it. When you cast your second spell each turn, this creature gains double strike until end of turn. Ooh, another multicolored Omen. Twin Maw Stormbrood, 5/4 flying. When it enters, you gain 5 life. And then the Omen deals 5 damage to target creature without flying. Ooh, and now we got the red rare land. I almost said Corgi. God darn it, now I need an altar of this with a bunch of corgis. Corey Mountain Monastery. This is for Jeskai. Enters tapped unless you control a plains or island. Taps red. 3 into red. Exile the top card of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you can play that card. Ooh! Now this is my second one of this card. Baator Kin to All. 5/7 with flying. Now, let's listen to this. At the beginning of your end step, if creatures you control have total toughness 10 or greater, draw a card. Then, if creatures you control have total toughness 20 or greater, untap each creature you control. Then, if creatures you control have total toughness 40 or greater, each opponent loses half of their life rounded up. This is a lot on a card. Baator loves big butts and he cannot lie. We got a foil lion weight. We got a basic island and a bird and monk token. I just pulled that like I said, that was my second copy of Baator. I just pulled one 2 days ago during draft. I didn't play it because I was in Mardu, but it was in my second pack, and I was just talking about it with my friend Jeremy on the way to the draft, so of course I had to pull it. Bearer of Glory, Devoted Duelist, 2/1 with haste. When you cast your second spell each turn, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Evolving Wilds, sack a search for a basic land under tapped. I love how the Evolving Wild looks. Cruel Truths, Segu Wildling, Highspire Bellrainer, Reigning Victor, Heritage Reclamation, Spectral Denial, 1 and X. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. Counter target spell unless its controller pays X. Mystic Monastery enters tapped and taps for 1 of Jeskai's colors. Gurumag Rakshasa. Roar of Endless Song. I faced off against this during the draft, and it is pretty good. Chapters 1 and 2 both make a 5/5 green elephant creature token. And then Chapter 3, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until the end of turn. Ooh, we got a foil Opulent Palace, which is the Sultai tap land. And then we got a swamp and a copy and monk token. Alrighty. Cruel Truths, Segu Wildling, Teamer Devotee, Third Tempest Hawk, Underfoot Underdogs, Caustic Exhale, Jadecast Sentinel, Abzan Monument, searches for a plain, swamp, or forest when it enters. Then 1 in Abzan, sacrifice this artifact, create an XX White Spear creature token where X is the greatest toughness among creatures you control. Underroot Unrooted Ancestor. 3/2 with Flash. Pay 1, sacrifice another creature. This creature gains indestructible until end of turn and tap it. Constrictor Sage. When this creature enters, tap target creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. And then renew. Exile this card from your graveyard, tap target creature in opponent's control, and put a stun counter on it. Oh, that's cool. This is the first one that specifically like targets stuff your opponent controls with the exhaust. Ooh, Showcase Jeskai Shrinekeeper. 3/3 flying haste. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Tursa Light Shatter. 3/3 Orc Wizard with haste. When Tursa Light Shatter enters, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. Whenever Tursa Light Shatter attacks, if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, exile a card at random from your graveyard. You may play that card this turn. That is pretty good. Foil Nightblade Brigade. 1/3 with Death Touch and Mobilize 1. Forest and a 3/3 Spirit. And X. There's the XX Spirit. I'm excited that I've already got 2 of the 3 big cards from this set. Elspeth and Mox Jasper. Now I just need to get Ugin. If I can manage to get Ugin in the rest of these packs or in my collector pack, that would be amazing. Let's see. Champion of Dusan. Ringing Strike Mastery. Poised Practitioner. 2/3. When you cast your second spell each turn, pull a +1/+1 counter on this creature and scry 1. Fire Rim Form. Flash, enchant creature. When this aura enters, enchanted creature gains first strike until end of turn. It gets +2/+0. Alesha's Legacy. Wingspan Stride. Reigning Victor. Salt Road Skirmish. Destroy target creature. Create 2 1/1 red warrior creature tokens. They gain haste until end of turn. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. Aurorial Procession. Instant. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Bone Karen Butcher. 4/4 with Mobilize 2, and attacking tokens you control have Death Touch. Also a very good card for Mardu decks. Lancid Prowler. 5/5. When this creature enters, you may mill cards equal to the number of lands you control. And then renew, exile this card from your graveyard, put X +1/+1 counters on target creature, where X is the number of land cards in your graveyard. Crater Hoof Behemoth, I forgot that they reprinted this! And it's a giant mammoth, and now I have one. 5/5 with haste. When this creature enters, creatures you control gain trample and get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. That's good. I love that they turned it into a giant mammoth. I love that much more than what Crater Hoof Behemoth normally looks like. We have a foil Monastery Messenger, Swiftwater Cliffs, and a Monk Goblin token. I've only gotten 2 art cards so far. I guess I shouldn't complain because the tokens are more useful than the art cards. But I like the art cards. I like how they look. I love seeing the art of these cards. Salt Road Pack Beast, Wild Ride, Sarkhan's Resolve. Have a great rest of your day. Sounds like you got some great cards. I did. If you gotta leave, thanks for stopping by and chatting. Hope you have a great day. All right, Sarkhan's Resolve. Choose one. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn, or destroy target creature with flying. Kin Tree Nurturer. Reading Strike Mastery. Do do see it? Do see it, Earth Carver? I hope I said that correctly. 4/4 with reach. When this creature enters, it endures 3. Temur Tawnyback, Descendant of Storms, Defibrillating Current, non-foil Dragon's Brood Relic, Glacial Dragon Hunt. Draw a card, then you may discard a card. When you discard a non-land card this way, Glacial Dragon Hunt deals 3 damage to target creature, and it has Harmonize for 6. Hollow Merc Siege. Black and green. As this enchantment enters, choose Sultai or Abzan. Sultai, whenever a counter is put on a creature you control, draw a card, triggers once each turn. Whenever you attack, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature. It gains menace until end of turn. I think the Abzan one is better than that. You bet. All right, thank you. Talk to you later, Gwen. All right, Foil Constrictor Sage, Scoured Barrens, and Elephant Treasure. Just hitting the 1 hour mark of this stream. Opened up some pretty badass cards here. Hoping to open up more. All right. Undergrowth Leopard, Durgurt Island Dragon, Riling Dawnbreaker, Rescue Leopard, Delta Bloodflies, Unburied Earth Carver, Reputable Merchant. When this creature enters or dies, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Dragonclaw Strike. Double the power and toughness of target creature you control until end of turn. Then it fights up to one target creature an opponent controls. Overwhelming Surge. Choose one or both. Deal 3 damage to target creature and or destroy target non-creature artifact. Fresh Start. Flash, enchant creature, gets -5/-0 and loses all abilities. That's funny. Starry-Eyed Skyrider. Flying, when this creature attacks, another target creature you control gains flying until end of turn. Attacking tokens you control have flying. Second Mythical Dragon, let's go. Taval, Arbiter of Virtue. Flying and lifelink. Spells you cast have Delve, which Delve is each card you exile from your graveyard while casting those spells pays for 1 generic mana. So if you got a card that's 5 generic and then 1, you can exile 5 cards from your library, from your graveyard, and then that spell only costs 1. Whenever you cast a spell, you lose life equal to its mana value, which is why this has lifelink. Foil Stormstreak Feral. 3/3 Flying Haste, pay 1 in red. This gets +1/+0 until end of turn. And the sorcery is discard a card if you do draw 2 cards. It is a Thrill of Possibility on a creature. Rugged Highlands and Warrior Goblin Token. Ugh. Oh, well, I know this one has no art card. Okay. Snowmount Stag, Riling Dawnbreaker, Seize Opportunity, Sandskitter Outrider, Undergrowth Leopard, Durgar Island Dragon, Dragonstorm Globe. Each dragon you control enters with additional +1/+1 counter and tap for 1 mana of any color. Loxodon Battle Priest, Kariak Guardian, Alchemist's Assistant, Showcase Riling Dawnbreaker, Mardu Siegebreaker. This is one of the standout cards, especially for Mardu. Solid box so far, at least since I've joined the chat. Thank you. I see that's a first time chat. Excellent. Yeah, this card is fantastic. 4/4 Death Touch Haste. When this creature enters, exile up to 1 other target creature you control until this creature leaves the battlefield. Whenever this creature attacks, for each opponent, create a tapped token that's a copy of the exiled card attacking that opponent. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice those tokens. This is fantastic this synergizes perfectly with a bunch of ETB effects. In fact, I actually pulled, this was my pack 1 pick 1 from this week's draft, and so I used it a lot with the 6 mana card that costs 1 less for each creature you control that lets you draw a card when it enters. And there's a 2 mana one that when it enters, you make a spirit. So I was able to make a bunch of extra tokens and also draw a bunch of cards throughout the draft event. But yeah, Mardu's Siegebreaker is fantastic. We got a foil Adorned Crocodile, Rugged Highlands, and a Warrior Dragon token. So I'm not sure which going to my Ishin deck. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, because it doubles attack triggers. Yeah. Yeah, Ishin is no longer standard legal, but Zergo more than makes up for it. Yeah, and I'm not sure if when you joined in, but other great cards that I've pulled so far, I've gotten Elspeth was in my second pack from the bundle that I opened. I got a Mox Jasper, I got a Craterhoof Behemoth, I got 2 of the 5 Mythic Dragons. So I'm hitting a bunch of good cards so far. Really hoping to hit Ugin. Need Elspeth still. Yes, I need. See, I have 1 now, and that's going into my collector binder. So I need a second one to put into a deck that I want. Well, I have it already built. It's a Selesnya deck that's all doubling effects, doubling tokens, counters, life, and so having a Planeswalker with a token doubling effect is 100% needed for that deck. Just got to figure out what I need to cut from there. All right, Undergrowth Leopard, Island Dragon, Ryling Dawnbreaker, Rescue Leopard, Delta Bloodflies, Aggressive Negotiations, Sibsig Appraiser, Rainveil Rejuvenator, Yathan Tomb Guard. 2/3 Menace. When a creature you control with a counter on it deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Need her for my... Oh, God, yes. Because they make soldiers. Yeah, Elspeth makes soldiers. Oh, God, yeah. Frontier Bivok, the Temur Tapland, Sun Pearl Kirin. So, fun fact about this card, with the introduction of this card, there are now a total of 12 Kirin in Magic the Gathering. 5 of them are monocolored legendaries from one of the Kamigawa sets that care about spirits and arcane spells. But this one is a 2/1 flash flying. When it enters, return up to one other target non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand. If it was a token, draw a card. Fantastic. A second Surrak. We got a foil Sunset Strike Master. Actually, I don't think we've read this one yet today. Tap for red. Pay 2 and a red tap. Sacrifice this creature. Deal 6 damage to target creature with flying. Jungle Hollow. Warrior Goblin. Yeah, new Elspeth and Myrel would be disgusting. I forget which... I think I have Sun's Champion in my Myrel deck. This is the one that makes 3 soldiers. Krotik Nestguard, Temur Devotee, Arishan Sunshield, Molten Exhale, Worthy Cost, Monastery Messenger, Dragonstorm Globe, Frontier Biovok, Sun Pearl Kirin, Veteran Ice Climber, Yathan Tomb Guard. Ooh, we got the new Narset. Narset Jeskai Waymaster. At the beginning of your end step, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw cards equal to the number of spells you cast this turn. See, this would go fantastic in a Hinata Dawn's Crown deck. Cast a bunch of X spells for really cheap, then discard your hand and reload it with a bunch of more X spells. Foiled Temur Monument. This one searches for a basic forest, island, or mountain, and you can sacrifice to make a 5/5 elephant. Foil Thornwood Falls. 1/1 soldier, 2/2 soldier. Alright. Segu Pummeler. Unending Whisper. Draw a card and then harmonize for 6. Arishan Sunshield. Shock Brigade. Abzan Devotee. Unburied Earthcarver. Aggressive Negotiations. Dragonstorm Forecaster. Search your library for a card named Dragonstorm Globe or Boulderborn Dragon. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. I love cards that specifically mention searching for other cards. I love that because it feels like a very... it almost feels like Yu-Gi-Oh! Specifically. Because, like, there are... like, for example, for the Dark Magician archetype, there are a bunch of spells and traps that say, targets a dark... go search for a Dark Magician card, or targets a Dark Magician card, protect it or something. So cards like this that mention specific other cards in Magic, I love. So we haven't seen Boulderborn Dragon yet, but I like that card as well, the Boulderborn Dragon. Rakshasa's Bargain. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 2 in your hand and 2 in the rest in your graveyard. Unsparring Boltcaster. When this creature enters, it deals 5 damage to target creature and opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. Purging Stormbrood. It's another multicolored one. 4/4 flying ward, pay 2 life. When this creature enters, remove all counters from up to 1 target creature. And then Absorb Essence. 2 target creature gets +2/+2 and gains lifelink and hexproof until end of turn. And white instant there. Awaken the Honored Dead. We got the showcase one of this earlier. Destroy target non-land permanent. Mill 3, you may discard a card when you do return a creature or land from your graveyard to your hand. And now we have a second Frostcliff Siege, which means I have a Frostcliff Siege for my trade binder. And that's a second foil one. Foil Tranquil Grove. And here is the man, the myth, the legend. Not the actual card, though, but the art card for Ugin, Eye of the Storms. This is the showcase one. If I pulled that, that would be fantastic. I need the regular one for my trade binder, but my collector binder, not my trade binder. We've got fourth Tempest Hawk from this stream. Underfoot Underdogs, Caustic Exhale, Crotique Nest Guard, Teamer Devotee, Lightfoot Technique, Monastery Messenger, Desperate Measures. Target creature gets +1/-1 until end of turn. When it dies under your control this turn, draw 2 cards. Kin Tree Severance. Exile target permanent with mana value 3 or greater. Channel Dragonfire. Another Songcrafter Mage. Ooh, Showcase Windcrag Siege. So this one, as it enters, choose Mardu or Jeskai. Mardu, if a creature attacking causes a permanent ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. And Jeskai, at the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token, gains lifelink and haste until end of turn. That is excellent. I love that the showcases for the sieges is literally looking at battle maps. I find that to be a really cool include. We got a foil Sandskitter Outrider, foil Swiftwater Cliffs, and 1/1 and 2/2 Spirit tokens. All right, next one. Crotique Nestguard, Highspire Bellringer, Molten Exhale, Osseous Exhale, Worthy Cost, Cruel Truths, Duciate Earthcarver, Summit Intimidator, Skirmish Rhino, Inspirited Vanguard, 3/2. When this creature enters or attacks, it endures 2. Bewildering Blizzard. Ooh, Stillness in Motion. At the beginning of your upkeep, mill 3 cards. Then, if your library has no cards in it, exile this enchantment and put 5 cards from your graveyard on top of your library in any order. Damn, that's actually really interesting. We got a foiled Island Dragon, Blossoming Sands, and another Spirit token. Mill 3, then if you have no cards in your library, get 5 cards from your graveyard to put it back into your library. That's interesting. Alright, Sarkhan's Resolve, Agent of Kotus, Dragonback Lancer, Jeskai Devotee, Dragon's Prey. Spells cost 2 more to cast if it targets a dragon, destroy target creature. Roamer's Routine. Search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle, and then harmonize for 5. Gurmuk Nightwatch. When this creature enters, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may put one of those cards back on top of your library, put the rest in your graveyard. Oh, and here is the Boulderborn Dragon that the blue creature can search up for. 3/3 Flying Vigilance. When this creature attacks, surveil 1. It's a pretty fun little creature. Static Snare. Flash costs 1 less to cast for each attacking creature. When this enchantment enters, exile target artifact or creature an opponent controls until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. Ireni's Rebuff. Return target creature to its owner's hand and harmonize for 6. Corroding Dragonstorm. When this enchantment enters, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Then you surveil 2, and then when a dragon enters, you bounce it. Ooh. Fellothar, Dawn of the Abzan. 3/3 with Trample. Whenever Fellothar enters or attacks, you may sacrifice a non-land permanent. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. That's fun. Mammoth Bellow. It's foil. Make a 5/5 green elephant creature token and harmonize for 8. Dismal Backwater. Spirit. This is the 3/3 and Star Spirit token. Come on, work with me here. There we go. Alrighty. Poised Practitioner, Jeskai Devotee, Alicia's Legacy, Champion of Dusan, Agent of Codis, Unburied Earth Carver, Inspired Ultimatum special guest. Hell yeah. So we got Arid Mesa earlier. Now we've got Inspired Ultimatum. Target player gains 5 life. Inspired Ultimatum deals 5 damage to any target. Then you draw 5 cards for blue, blue, red, 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 white, white. Amazing. Hot damn indeed. Yes. So yeah, the 10 special guests for this set are the 5 enemy fetch lands and then the 5 ultimatums. I love the artwork. They're not expensive cards, but the artwork, yeah, sick art, definitely. Look at that. I think that's the Jeskai Mythic Dragon for this set that's in the artwork for this. Alrighty, Zergo's Vanguard, Whirlwind Stormbrood, Mardu Monument, Formation Breaker, another Sib-Sig Ceremony, Foil Caustic Exhale, Swiftwater Cliffs, and another 3/3 Star Spirit. Okay, just checking to see how many packs we have left. We have 9 packs left in this box, including this one. And then we're going to be closing out with a collector pack. Alright. Einok Wayfarer, Riverwalk Technique, Coordinated Maneuver, Wild Ride, Adorned Crocodile, Lightfoot Technique, Boulderborn Dragon, Sage of the Fang. When this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Renew, exile this card from your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, then double the number of +1/+1 counters on that creature. It's very good. This is a regular artwork for the Jeskai Shrine Keeper. We got the showcase one for it earlier. Come on, Ugin. Yeah, I'm hoping for Ugin. Stormbeacon Blade, Stalwart Successor. Okay, not Ugin, but still a pretty good card. Nature's Rhythm. Search your library for a creature card with mana value X or less, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. It's 2 and X to cast, and then 4 and X for Harmonize. Very great card. We have one of the decks that we've built is a Mr. Orfeo the Boulder from Streets of New Capenna that wants to just double power a whole bunch. So then you make one of your creatures really big and then harmonize for a really big creature. Foil Fortress Kinguard. This is a card I was talking about earlier with the Mardu Siege Breaker. When it enters, it endures 1, so you can make a spirit. I did that with it. I exiled this with the Mardu card once and got a bunch of spirits out. Jungle Hollow, and we got artwork for Taval Arbiter of Truth, the showcase version. Very pretty artwork. Yeah, so far the only Ugin I've pulled so far is the art card for the showcase art. I want the actual card, though. Alright. Stormplane Detainment, Rescue Leopard, Adorned Crocodile, Einok Wayfarer, Riverwalk Technique, Sipsig Appraiser, Heritage Reclamation, Encroaching Dragonstorm. Iridescent Tiger. When this creature enters, if you cast it, add Wooburg. It's pretty fun. Sandsteep Citadel, the Abzan Tapland. Rolling Dragonstorm. When this enchantment enters, draw 2 cards, then discard a card, and when a dragon control enters, bounce to your hand. Ooh, this is showcase, special showcase for the Jeskai Revelation. This is the 7 mana mythic instant for Jeskai Revelation that just does so much. Return target spell or permanent to its owner's hand. Jeskai Revelation deals 4 damage to any target. Create 2 1/1 white monk creature tokens with prowess. Draw 2 cards. You gain 4 life. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 effects for 7 mana. And if you put this into a Hinata Dawn Crown deck, because it's got 2 targets, it reduces the cost by 2, so it's 5 mana for 5 effects. Pretty amazing card. I think it's going to be underappreciated. Foil Sarkon's Resolve, Bloodfell Caves, and 1122 Spirits. Alright, next pack. Einok Wayfarer, Riverwalk Technique, Coordinated Maneuver, Wild Ride, Adorned Crocodile, Sultai Devotee, Dragonstorm Globe, Jade Cast Sentinel, Effortless Master, 4/3 Menace and Vigilance. This creature enters with 2+1/+1 counters on it if you've cast 2 or more spells this turn. Alright, and this is the fifth Dragonstorm. Teaming Dragonstorm, when it enters, make 2/2/2 white soldiers, and when a dragon you control enters, bounce it. Keru Goldkeeper. Flying 3/3. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard during your turn, make a treasure token. And then renew. The renew is put 2+1/+1 counters and a flying counter on target creature. That's fun. We got another Scavenger Regent. Foil Shocking Sharpshooter. Tranquil Cove, and art. Ooh, this is art card for the new for Call of the Spirit Dragon. This is the new win con for dragons. That's another one that I hope I can pull. Because you know what dragons needed, that massively underappreciated creature type, a win con. A card that just straight up says you win the game. Segu Pummeler, Unending Whisper, Osseous Exhale, Shock Brigade, Feral Deathgorger, Trade Route Envoy, Aggressive Negotiations, Sonic Shrieker, Shocking Sharpshooter, Kishless Skimmer, Essence Anchor. Beginning of your upkeep, Surveil 1. Tap, create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. Activate only during your turn and only if a card left your graveyard this turn. We got the turtle! Legitimately excited for this because I've also built a turtle deck. And this is a perfect card for the turtle deck. Ambling Stormshell. 5 mana, 5/9 with Ward 2. Whenever this creature attacks, put 3 stun counters on it and draw 3 cards. Whenever you cast a turtle spell, untap this creature. Turtle not in a half shell, yes. So the downside is that this is the only turtle in this set, so for limited, for draft, it's not the best. I mean, drawing 3 cards on attack is just fantastic. But not necessarily the best because then you've got to wait more turns to do it again. But even in standard, there are plenty of turtles, especially in like Foundations. They made a 1 mana turtle that's going to be standard legal for 5 years. So you can just, turtle, and do that. But also, uh, for the upcoming Spider-Man set, they showcase six cards that make up the panorama artwork. Sensational Spider-Man. So when Sensational Spider-Man attacks, you put a stun counter on a creature and tap a target opponent creature and put a stun counter on it. Then you can remove up to 3 stun counters from anywhere and draw that many cards. So if you swing with both Spider-Man and the turtle, you resolve the turtle first, put 3 stun counters on it and draw 3. Then you resolve Spider-Man, put a stun counter on an opponent's creature, remove all 3 stun counters from the turtle, and draw another 3. So in that deck, this is fantastic because you just swing with 2 creatures and draw 6 cards. I really need more copies of that turtle. Okay, we got a foil showcase teaming Dragonstorm, Scoured Barrens, and an Elephant Treasure Token. Spider-Man and Turtles, the crossover we didn't know we need. Hey, listen. So there's been a long-running like comic series of specifically like Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles teaming up. That's where we get the meme-tastic panel of Raphael and Batman in the alley where his parents died, and Batman says, "This is where I watched my parents die, Raphael," and Raphael responds by saying, "Cowabummer." But a couple of years ago, they made a 2D animated movie for Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that was fantastic. Highly recommended if you haven't watched it. So we've gotten TMNT crossover with DC, but yes, I agree. We need TMNT with Marvel. We'll check that out. Absolutely. Highly recommended. Alrighty. Trade Route Envoy. Focus the Mind. Mardu Devotee. Meticulous Artisan. Feral Deathgorger. Rebellious Strike. Stormshriek Feral. Mammoth Bellow. Rite of Renewal. Return up to 2 target permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. Target player shuffles up to 4 target cards from their graveyard into their library, and then exile Rite of Renewal. That seems pretty good. Fleeting Effigy, Marshal of the Lost. The best card in the rare land cycle for this set. Mist Rise Village. Enters tapped unless you control a mountain or forest. Tap for a blue, or you pay blue, tap, the next spell you cast this turn can't be countered. Yeah, all of this, I don't know how much this land is, but it is easily the most expensive of the 5 in this cycle. That says a lot for me since I don't play blue. Yeah, this card might make a lot of people finally turn to the dark side and play blue. Because for 1 mana, the next spell you cast can't be countered. Why would you not? Foil Underfoot Underdogs, Windscarred Crag, and a 1/1/2/2 Soldier token. Not going that far yet. Okay, but mono blue is like true dark side, but blue with other cards, I feel like is fine. In fact, most of my commander decks that I built when I got back into Magic were actually a couple of Dimir decks. So I'm pretty far gone, I suppose. I'm not like a true yes, counter everything, mono blue. Even though I do have like 2 mono blue decks planned in the future, one being a persistent petitioner deck, but we'll get that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Gotta bounce, stream, great stream, Joe. Look forward to the next. Thank you. I am gonna try and stream more than just opening up cards. Maybe I'll be playing. Hopefully, I'm gonna be playing Arena soon, and also I'll probably might do a couple of live streams where I'm just sorting through Magic cards so I can actually sort through it all and not just put it off constantly. But yeah, thank you for joining. Alrighty. Arishin Sunshield, Molten Exhale, Worthy Cost, Segu Pummeler, Unending Whisper, Osseous Exhale, Reputable Merchant, Diuset Earthcarver, Essence Anchor, Venerated Stormslinger, Sonic Shrieker, a 4th Frostcliff Siege. Are you kidding me? Can I please get any other siege? Foil Shock Brigade, Windscarred Crag, Burden Monk. So now I've got 2 Frostcliff Siege for my trade binder. But I mean, those might go pretty fast. Giving everything Trample and Haste. Alright, we're down to the last couple of packs for this booster box. So I'm hoping they're good. Alright, Segu Wildling, Teamer Devotee, 5th Tempest Hawk, Underfoot Underdogs, Caustic Exhale, Gormog Nightwatch, Stormshriek Feral, Frontline Rush. Choose 1. Make 2 1/1 Red Goblin creature tokens, or target creature gets +X/+X till end of turn where X is the number of creatures you control. Opulent Palace, Strategic Betrayal. Target opponent exiles a creature they control and their graveyard. Voice of Victory. 1/3 with Mobilize 2. Your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. That's fantastic. Oh! And we got a Showcase Stillness in Motion. That's pretty cool. Foil Hardened Tactician, Thornwood Falls, and a copy Monk token that is a little beat up at the top. Wizard! Alright. Hour and a half mark, and we're already almost done. Alright. Okay. I think I might have dropped a piece of Raptor there, but I'll just get it afterwards. Alright. Ooh, I think this is I haven't seen this common yet. Humbling Elder. 1/2 with flash. When this creature enters, target creature an opponent controls gets -2/-0 until end of turn. That's pretty good. Fortress Kinguard, Twin Bolt, Nightblade Brigade, Snakeskin Veil. It's been reprinted so much, but I'll read it again anyway. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Gains hexproof until end of turn. Dispelling Exhale, Reputable Merchant, Dragon Sniper, a 1/1 for 1, Vigilance Reach, and Death Touch. Jeskai Monument, make birds, and search for a Jeskai basic land. Whale of War, choose one. Creatures target opponent control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Disruptive Stormbrood, green dragon, 3/3 flying. When it enters, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment. And the Black Omen, destroy target creature with power 3 or less. Hey, we got Zurgo! Zurgo Thunder's Decree. This is the showcase rare for Mardu that you want to always try and look out for if you're doing Mardu. 2/4 with Mobilize 2. During your end step, warrior tokens you control have this token can't be sacrificed. So all your tokens that you make with the Mobilize, they stick around. Fantastic. Foil Encroaching Dragonstorm, Thornwood Falls, Bird Monk token. Alrighty, we are at the final booster pack, play booster of the play booster box. And then we are going to open up our collector booster, which totally isn't going to have a serialized Mox Jasper. That totally isn't going to happen, please, Wizard Gods. All right, last pack of the box. Dragonback Lancer, Fire Rim Form, Dragon's Prey, Snakeskin Veil, Humbling Elder, Stormshriek Feral, Gurmok Nightwatch, Sunset Strikemaster, Host of the Hereafter, Wayspeaker Bodyguard, Rediscover the Way. This is the Jeskai Saga. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them in your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Oh, we've read this. And then chapter 3 is Double Strike is on a turn. Yes! They're at 3 out of 5 Mythic Dragons. Neriv, Heart of the Storm. Oh, this is the Mardu one. 4/5 flying. If a creature you control that entered this turn would deal damage, it deals twice that much damage instead. Hot damn, that is fantastic. All right, foil Alesha's Legacy, full art planes, soldier. Alrighty, and last but certainly not least, we have the collector booster. I'm really hoping to get something good in this. I really do hope that each collector booster comes with a Dragon Eye basic land, because if they don't, that would be very disappointing. Alright. Now, Yep, the collector packs have followed the tradition of putting everything in reverse order. So we're going to be we're going to be going from the back. Alright, so first we've got Delta Bloodflies, foil. Sibsing Appraiser, foil. Osseous Exhale, foil. Summit Intimidator, foil. Iridescent Tiger, foil. Foil Nomad Outpost. Foil Inspirited Vanguard. Showcase Stormshriek Feral. That looks pretty cool. Showcase Sagu Wildling. Ooh, foil Swamp Dragon's Island. That looks sick as all hell. I love that. All right. This should be the first rare. Foil Lycid Prowler, which we already had one. Already starting to Pringle. Oh no. Steward of the Harvest. Oh, this is from one of the precons. When this creature enters, exile up to 3 target land cards from your graveyard. Creatures you control have all activated abilities of all land cards exiled with this creature. This is a really powerful card here. All right, next up we have Showcase Kasari Revenant. Flying, Death Touch, Lifelink. Renew, exile this card from your graveyard. Put a flying counter, Death Touch counter, and a lifelink counter on a creature. All right, next we have Showcase Sibsig Ceremony. All right. Now we've got the last card before the token, and it is. Whoa! I don't think this is the Dragonfire foil, but this is Japanese Sarkhan in the cool treatment. Oh, that looks so cool. I don't remember what he does. I gotta look him up. Excuse my unprofessionalism here. Tarkir, Dragonstorm, Sarkhan. Sarkhan Dragon Ascendant. A 2/2. When Sarkhan enters, you may behold a dragon. If you do, create a treasure token. Whenever a dragon you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on Sarkhan. Until end of turn, Sarkhan becomes a dragon in addition to its other types and gains flying. So I gotta look up Sarkhan. If I could Sarkhan Dragon Ascendant 403 showcase. So I don't. It is foil. It's not the Dragonfire foil, but it is here. It's like 7. So it's not that expensive, but it still looks really cool. I wonder what the Sarkhan Dragon Ascendant, the Halo foil. Oh yeah, that one's going for almost $60. But that just looks really cool. And it's in Japanese. That's just awesome. All right, and then finally we've got a 3/3 and a Star Spirit foil. Okay, so no Ugin, unfortunately, but we did get Elspeth in the second pack. We got Crater Hoof Behemoth. We got a Mox Jasper. We got 3 of the 5 Mythic Dragons. We got 2 special guest cards, Arid Mesa and Inspired Ultimatum. What else did we get that was really good? We got the blue rare land. That's probably more than $10 easily. And we got a lot of the blue red siege, enough that I can put some in my trade binders. And so with that, at just under an hour 40, I'm gonna call the stream here. Thank you for joining. Thank you for commenting. I'm gonna make sure that this gets uploaded soon. I do still need to upload the last stream that I did opening up Aether Drift. I'm gonna work to see if I can get that uploaded tonight, and then probably by next week I will make sure that this stream gets uploaded onto my YouTube channel, so that way you can watch the VOD, and then I can also get some more inspiration to work on my own, long form video, working on a script and all that. But yeah, thank you for watching. I will talk to you guys in the next stream I do. So, bye everyone. Bye.